Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the show. You're watching Seeing the Unseen with Christopher LaPrath. My name's Kenan, his son, and the producer of the show. Tonight, I've got some fabulous things to share with you. The title of the show, Who is in Front of You? We'll have more on that momentarily, but a quick piece of housekeeping first. For anyone who's out there joining us for the very first time, be sure to say something so I know you're here. First time readings, of course, are always free. And going forward after that, it's $10 per reading, or you can pay $100 and cover the entire month, which I feel like is a pretty sweet deal since we run 3 shows per week. That's normally Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday at 6 p.m. Arizona time. So, I have a quick note to share before I turn it over to Christopher for the evening to do readings for everybody, which I do in order for anyone who doesn't know of people who show up. So, the lessons that we have, we've signed up for here on this planet. And the people that are in our lives are here to help teach us those lessons in various ways. For, good or bad, right or wrong, that's all, just sort of labels for things. Ultimately, we're here learning these lessons, and stories are involved in that process. And we tell ourselves all these different stories. And one thing I was sharing with my dad earlier today that he asked me to share with you all is that millions of other people are lined up to teach us the same exact lessons that the people that are currently in our lives are teaching us. So I'll say that again. The people who are in our lives trying to teach us lessons, whether they're landing or not, basically is up to us. And if we don't get those lessons from the people in front of us, the people behind them are just going to have the lesson a little bit louder. So, yeah, Christopher will have some more explanation and some wonderful things to share on that. Hope that makes sense. Thanks for listening, and enjoy the show. Here's Christopher.
Hey, thank you very much, Kenan. Great introduction. And I light the incense with my fancy new incense lighter that I got for Christmas from my sister. And this incense that I'm lighting is for you and the great teacher that's awakening within you. That's what this year is about. So, I saw, Doreen, that you were excited for the year 2024. And I think everybody is excited for this year. But what's interesting about that is you being excited for 2024. That means you're also excited for the year 6774. You're also excited for the year 2568 and for the year 4721. Let me explain. The year 6774 is the Assyrian calendar, and it's equivalent to 2024. The Buddhist calendar is the year 2568. The Chinese calendar is the year 4721. And then every culture around the world has their own calendar. And for them, it's a different year than 2024. The Gregorian calendar, which the year 2024 is set on, is what much of the world follows. But my point of telling you that is what's important is not so much the year or the number of the year. Let's break it down to the day. How important today is. And so this brings us to the group card, which is the Thoth card. Can we share the? There we go. I'll try to straighten it out here. This is the year for enlightenment. This is the year for understanding and doors opening up for you, because this has to do with light ascension, the great teacher awakening, and divine magic. So if you're on this show, if you've been watching it for a while, you're going to start feeling, you're going to start noticing more divine magic that's going to be occurring in your life. Thoth, as we've spoken about, was the king of Atlantis. He then ended up taking those teachings to the land of Egypt and lived for thousands of years there. But he's the master of the stars. And what he does, and why this card came up, is this card only comes up for those that are ready to connect with some of the greatest gifts, not only from previous lifetimes, but culminating into this lifetime. You got that? So this is a powerful, Thoth is part of a powerful congregation of ascended beings, ascended masters, not only from Atlantis, but from other races, from other beings, angels, whatever you want to call them. And this is the most important time. Today is the most important time. And then tomorrow will be the most important time. And then the day after that will be the most important time. No matter what year you say you're existing in, it's the day, it's the moment that you're existing in. And rising above the aspects of your life that have held you back previously, or rising above the aspects of previous lives that have held you back in this lifetime. Each moment, you'll be jumping, taking one step at a time, gets you 1,000 miles. That's why there's going to be a powerful set of light initiations for you, which opens you up to be able to teach within a powerful space of love, so that people's behaviors aren't about you. As Kenan said, it's important to get the lesson with the people that are in front of you. Because if you don't get that lesson, there are a million people behind them that are going to step forward until you get the lesson. So you can get the lesson now, or you can get it later with the 10,747th person. I'm making that number up. So it's better to get it now. And so this is giving you encouragement to get your lessons, to understand that you are a really, really powerful source of love. And it's about losing your story, the story that you've clung to. And if you let go of that story, know that when the fear gets really loud, you're at this cusp of something extremely powerful, extremely transitional. And so that when the fear gets loud, you go, oh, you know what? Transition's coming. Here it comes. And you go through it. It's like being right at the top of the roller coaster just before it goes, right? You got that? That's the way it feels like. That's this Thoth card. This is the divine magic. Okay. Great blessings to you this year of 2024, or 6768, or 4722, whatever year you follow. It's the day, it's the moment. So I hope if you're watching this show that you take pictures of the group card. You take pictures of your card when it comes up, you're reading. It will help you remember. It will help you be able to look back over the weeks and go, wow, I see it all coming together. Okay.
First is Melinda tonight.
Mindy.
Yeah.
All right. We'll go with Mindy first. Melinda, Northern Idaho coming. No, sorry. Northern Washington. Northeastern Washington. Spokane area. So Melinda, this is asking you. So I'm gonna, as I said last night, I'm going to talk to you about what's going to be happening a little bit in 2024 for each of you. And this is repairing the body, mind, and spirit. This is you becoming you, free of your previous stories. This is cleansing the body, mind, and spirit of those stories that no longer really serve you. So, get some Calgon or Epsom salts, and you can start taking baths, and you use essential oils. You don't have to take a bath every day. Well, you know what I'm saying. You can take a bath a week, but this is a meditative bath to help clean the toxins, mental, emotional, physical, that may be in your body. Now, when that happens, when stuff starts to come up, you can start feeling like sometimes even physically ill or really tired. Know that that is part of the transition. You know, that's the roller coaster going gunk, 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 gunk until it reaches the top. There'll be periods of, I want to call it kind of like downtime, that you need the downtime, Melinda, in order to better out than in. So it's literally detoxing. It's like if you got food poisoning, right? You would be throwing up. That's a physical detox, right? Definitely better out than in. But I want to talk to everybody on the show about this, is when you're cleansing emotionally, spiritually, those things can come up as well, and even can appear in a physical form. Sometimes sweats, not sleeping, all of that can occur. So that's a sign, though, of your spiritual growth, of your emotional growth, of your mental growth. But you're losing the stories. And you talk about now rather than then. Okay. The music you listen to is really important. So I want to share this story, and maybe some of you have seen it on your social media feed. But if you remember from junior high school, when you studied the leaves of plants, and there was like on the back of a leaf is called the stomata. And when light hits it, that stomata opens and it allows more air into that leaf. And so that's what the oxygen carbon dioxide exchange takes place. Well, what they've discovered is at 4 o'clock in the morning, they've always wondered why birds start chirping before the sun comes up. Because the birds chirping does the same thing to the plant. When the plant picks up that vibration of that bird's chirping, that stomata begins to open. and the plant begins to grow, and the plant is very healthy. So this gentleman, the scientist, decided, he lived in the Midwest. He's like, you know what? I'm going to start playing classical music to my crops. And within literally days, he had corn that was 15 feet high, and the neighbors were astounded. All the other farmers would come and go, what are you doing? So they all began to start playing classical music. So my point, Melinda, is play the classical music to help you change your story. Also, water is very important for you. That's why the bath with the Calgon or the Epsom salts. Okay. Okay. All right, Marilyn, thank you so much. Well, Marilyn. Oh, I'm going to love your reading. Marilyn's doing a full reading on Thursday. And I really would encourage every one of you to do that because it goes into so much more depth, right, Marilyn? But this is a card this year is about you know what? This isn't just about you, Marilyn. This is about everybody on the show, but primarily thank you for being the instigator of this message. Your contract's up, girl. What that means is so when I moved into this house, I had kind of a grace period. Like 2 months before I actually had to pay the mortgage. And I was happy. You know, when the mortgage came due, it made me feel really good. I was able to pay the mortgage. This is you really coming into the terms of your contract of why you came to this planet. And really moving into that more with more courage, with more focus, with more clarity on what that contract consists of. So that's why I said thank you for being the instigator of this card, because this message is so powerful for all of us. It is a really understanding the Dharma, right? Our life path. And just this amazing capacity that, let's say you have the money to pay your mortgage, you have the money, you have the energy to really start fulfilling this contract, more so than you ever have. Pieces will start coming together for you like they never have before. Okay, we'll talk more on Thursday. Okay. Diney? Okay, hey Diney. All right, let's see what the next this year is coming up to. Excuse me. The impossible. Stop trying to imagine the impossible. You cannot imagine the impossible. It's like the story of the blind man, or the 5 or 6 blind men that were trying to describe an elephant. And you remember that story where one man was holding the elephant's tail and they go, oh, the elephant's like a snake. Oh, the elephant's like one was hugging its leg. Oh, no, the elephant's like a tree. and so on and so forth. Another one was holding its side, going, no, no, the elephant's like a house. Letting go of only having understood a little bit. And be free of claiming that really you know anything. Because moment by moment, the revelation is given to you. It's not, I don't prepare for any of these readings, so there's no way that I can. So when I look at this card, and I want to speak to all of you, this stack of stones looks like an impossible stack of stones. How could that possibly balance? Universe, show me now how to bring more balance into my life. And be very, very judicious about who you talk to and what you talk to them about. There are most of the population are not ready to hear anything, even necessarily of a spiritual nature. This is being more discretionary about who you say what to. But this year is about more downloads. Taking better care of you. And look up the word pyramid or the number 3 and the benefit of the number 3, the spiritual meaning of the number 3. There's more 3s coming into your life this year. Pyramids, like even you can order a pyramid on Amazon. So think about that this year in the number 3, and look up the number 3, what that represents. Okay.
Doreen's next.
Hey, Doreen, thank you for being here. So, some of you in your Christmas stockings got one of Doreen's treats that I ordered for Christmas. She's an amazing chef, well-known chef, extremely talented. Her passion also is taking care of dogs. She has dog rescue. She volunteers for dog rescue. She has foundations that help other people. Love you, Doreen. Thank you for being here. And everybody absolutely loved your Rice Krispie treats. She makes these out of the world at Rice Krispie treats. Anyway. Can't make this stuff up, to read. So this year, 2024 for you. Is this discernment for you that's coming in to help you handle the opportunities that are coming your way. You'll have the discretionary knowledge to say yes and no to certain opportunities, but there's a lot more opportunities coming your way. So trust the universe. So you're a pet enthusiast, right? You love puppies, you love animals. So if you look at, now I'm not a veterinarian, I'm not going to claim to be a veterinarian, but I will just speak from experience and the pets that I've had, the cats that I've had, the kittens that they've had, the puppies that the dogs have had, that somehow they never really have a litter more than the teats that they have in order to feed the litter. And I could be wrong on this, but just from my life experience, the cats always seem to have just about the right number of kittens to the teats that they have in order to feed the kittens. Same with dogs. So that's why I love this card. So if you can take your picture of this card, because this is the caterpillar. This is the things that seem impossible, or you're wondering, oh my God, I'm going to have 40 puppies, and I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what I'm saying? No, that's not the way the universe is working. With the opportunity, we'll be given the energy and the circumstances, or the teats, the natural supplier of energy and food for you to expand what it is that you're doing. So if it's your cooking that you're most passionate about, wonderful. If it's more about pets, so you're definitely going to be in front of the camera more. Whether that's I get like even more like television interviews or news interviews where you're educating people, whatever your passion is, whether it's about pets and or cooking and or both, or when somebody says, how are you doing it all? Well, you're not doing it alone, right? The universe has infinite capacity. And so whatever it is that you choose to do, you're going to be very successful at. You're going to be literally in the pink, right? But stay in the meow. Just stay in the meow. You get that, right? Stay in the now, but I said meow. But my point is, stay present, and the means will be afforded to you. You get it. I know you get it. I know you get it. But also, I'm drawing this card for you, and so I want to give you recognition for this, for your higher self pulling this card, because it's really a message for all of us. These opportunities are coming our way. Say yes. The universe will figure out how to do it, or how to make it come about. Okay?
Next is Abby and Marilyn.
Oh, my dear Abby and Marilyn, happy anniversary. I loved it that you were on the show last night and you got the lover's card, and now you're on vacation together. That is so fabulous. Okay. My dear Abby, this year, it's called the gestation period. So I don't know when the last time, I know it's winter there, but I don't know when the last time you saw a snail. But did you stand over the snail and judge it by going, oh my God, you are so freaking slow. Like, why aren't you faster? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with God that, why didn't he make snails faster? Why are No, a snail is a snail. There's nothing wrong with it. It's your judgment on the snail. And I'm using this as a metaphor. I know you're not a snail hater. But I want you to look up, Abby, I want you to look up the spiritual meaning of the word nautilus. Nautilus. It is a, you've seen these seashells that look like this. They're spiral. And the creatures that live in them are called nautiluses. There's a spirit animal. It's one of your major spirit animals. It's why you love the ocean so much. Look up the word nautilus and what that means. Spiritual guide, nautilus, spirit animal, nautilus. Because this year is about letting go of that judgment on yourself and on your gifts so that they can actually emerge. Just like you wouldn't have judgment on the snail for being slow or for being tiny or being slimy or whatever, right? You don't have that. So why have it on yourself in any way, shape, or form? Like, you are fabulous. You're one of my favorite people. Everyone on the show that's met you and Marilyn, they love you. This year is revelatory. And the dreams that you've had, this is called the winter's dream. The dreams that you've had this year, or even just throughout your lifetime, where it's been like a winter's dream, where it's kind of like a tree in winter and it has dreams of summer, right? So it's sleeping. This is about you waking up in a way that you've really never woken up before. And then be free of comparing a snail to an eagle, or a fish to a bear. You can't compare any of those. This is you and your uniqueness, and then having this revelation within that uniqueness. And this true inner child coming out. There's something with snow cones with you. I don't know if snow cones bring you childhood memories or kind of delight or just the flavor or the ice around them, but it's that joy, that feeling of being able to have an ice cream cone or a snow cone, right? That's what life will feel like more toward this year of 2024, or 6748 if you're in the Chinese calendar. Okay. My dear Marilyn, luck and right timing. I am lucky, I am lucky, I am lucky, I am lucky. There's a right time for everything. And the universe provides. So remember that story about there's giant flood, man on the roof, praying to God for help. A boat comes by and he goes, no. He sends the boat away. God will help me. Yeah, I know you know the story. Helicopter comes. He waves the helicopter off. No, God will save me. The guy drowns. He dies. He's in heaven. And he goes to God, well, why didn't you save me? He goes, well, I sent a boat and a helicopter. Opportunities are coming this year in the most unusual ways from the most unusual people. Listen to them. Listen to their ideas. And there's a right timing for everything. You do not have to push it. So last night, Lana was on the show, and her husband, who's on the other side, came through, and he's telling Lana to sit back. So this is kind of a similar thing for you, Marilyn, where you're spinning the wheel of life, and you've spun a great wheel. Beautiful, beautiful mandala that you've created with your life and this dance of life. But can you allow more in? And trust the timing. Trust the timing of the universe. Just because you order a package on Amazon and it doesn't show up the day that it says it's going to be, doesn't mean it won't show up the next day or that they won't send out a replacement. It's there for you. Wait for it.
Thanks, you guys, Jeff Reynolds.
Hey, Jeff. Sorry I missed your call today. I apologize. Happy New Year, my friend. So when you evolve, so when you think about a snake shedding its skin, when you think about the caterpillar going into the cocoon and then the struggle it takes to turn into a butterfly, it isn't instantaneous, right? That butterfly has to eat its way out of the cocoon. It has to spread its wings. The wings have to dry. And then it can fly. Allow yourself processing time. And I will say this to everybody. When you start on this journey, there are sometimes days, there are sometimes weeks where it's essential for you to process, because you're working at a really high vibration up here, but it takes the body sometimes days or weeks to reach this level. It's what I was talking to Melinda about earlier, is let Calgon take you away, right? Same thing with you. This is overwhelm and plenty. Narrow down what it is you love doing. Universe, show me now what I love doing. Show me now what is the highest priority. And then go with that without beating yourself up about not doing your third or fourth or fifth priority. Okay? That's the important thing with this. And this year is going to be a lot more overflow, a lot more plenty. But notice when you get overwhelmed, again, I'm going to give you the advice that I did last night. Sit back. Just sit back. And be free of being everything for everybody. Be everything for you first. Okay? And then we've got Jared and Kat.
Jared and Kat, got it.
Okay, so Jared, this year is going to be about you breaking out of the norm. Oh, I got to share this. So Jared, and I'm going to share this with everybody. I meant to talk about this in my introduction. But Jared, I'm so glad you brought this up. Well, at least your higher self brought this up because you pulled the card. So here's what this year is going to be like for you. You're going to be breaking through group think. We've all, if you've been to college, or you can look up psychology and look up group think. This card has to do with mind being full. Let me give you a couple of examples. The automotive industry, Jared. It's one of the world's largest industries right now. But 100 years ago, in 1899, in fact, the Literary Digest, a highly influential magazine at the time, referred to automobiles as ordinary horseless carriages that will never be used as commonly as bicycles due to their expensive cost. 4 years later, Horace Rackman one of the first lawyers of the Ford Motor Company, was discouraged from buying stock in the Ford Company by a bank president who called automobiles, it's only a novelty, it's only a fad. Now, if only they could drive a DeLorean back to the future, they might eat their words. So, now this is a funny one. Jared. Dr. Jared, I should call you. Dr. J. Umbrellas. Can you ever imagine umbrellas being ridiculed? But they were. So during the 18th century, only women carried umbrellas. Men were men. They were supposed to get wet. They were supposed to endure the driving rain. And umbrellas were seen only as accessories for women. But this guy named Jonas Hanway returned from a trip in the Orient with an umbrella, and it coach drivers at the time, like coaches that would give people rides to different parts of the town, wouldn't want to take him because it made them so angry. Because they saw that if men started to carry umbrellas, they might walk more and they were going to lose business. Anyway, this goes on and on with every industry. Forks. The invention of forks. The printing press, televisions, space travel, light bulbs, for goodness sake. Anyway, you can look this all up. These were industries, and this is what I wanted to talk to you all about. This has to do with every one of you because it had to do with the group card. So I'm glad you came. I can go back to the group card. That's what's in store for you this year is new downloads, new ways of doing things, new ways of thinking about things. And you know what? Yeah, you're going to get made fun of maybe. You're going to get made told that would never work. Or that's not the way things are done. But those are downloads that will change history. So that's what's coming for you this year, Jared, is new ways of doing and thinking about things. And so pay attention to these spiritual downloads from your guides. We're all touched by heaven. Every one of us touched by heaven. Every one of us live on the edge of the universe, where anything and everything does and can happen. So, you're going to have naysayers, so be very careful about saying anything to the nayers. Okay. All right, my dear cat. Experiencing cat life as it comes. So I think I mentioned this on the show before. Prior to the age of puberty, for both boys and girls, children are much more susceptible to spiritual encounters. Some of them may remember a previous life, see ghosts, see angels, have a lot of different experiences. But when it comes to puberty, cat, when they hit puberty, think of it as the root system of a plant going boom, just anchoring right to the earth, beginning to grow a root system, because we came here to the earth to fulfill what we came here to the earth to do, our dharma, our life path. So it's important that we ground. But this is when our sexuality takes place in that puberty, and that sexuality really begins to ground us to the earth. But as with the universe, as we all know, Kat, there are no absolute tried and true laws, right? because anything and everything does and can happen within an unlimited universe. Because you've had the children that you've had, and I know your kids, they're unusually gifted, as we've talked about many times. Let me think, where did that gift come from? Oh, you guys. So, Kat, any depression that you feel, are you willing to let go of that? Because it's more about a sadness, because these gifts are coming back. And some of the times the sadness can be from you know what, I could have had this the whole time. I could have had this understanding. I could have had these revelations the whole time. That can be part of the depression or sadness. And it's just simply letting go of that, because what was, you came to this earth to anchor and to kind of forget about those gifts, but those gifts are coming back in a lot. And so rejoice in them. Be really, really happy. Take one moment at a time, because you're shifting. It's going to stabilize, but think of your foot being on the dock and then on the boat at the same time. Have you ever done that? Where you're like, whoa, I'm getting my balance here. You're getting your balance. So stay in the moment. The next moment's going to be different. And you'll be ready for that moment. Just stay in the moment. Oh, and then when the next moment comes, oh, you're going to be ready for that one too. It's a fantastic year for you. Woo! Well, I know we're going to be talking a lot. Okay.
So next, we've got a series of new people. Sonia is on the show.
Okay, and EJ.
Yeah,
EJ, Happy New Year.
Yeah, it's EJ.
Okay. So EJ, this year is about, you are not the product the mind is a powerful thing. Letting go of you're uprooting, you're cutting off the diseased roots, and you're replanting. I'm not a botanist. I don't actually know how that works, but I'm using that as an illustration, EJ. This is you being able to let go of the past and those old stories. That's what that group card was about for everyone tonight, is letting go of the old stories and using them as a reason for the way that you are. You're extremely gifted. This is you cutting those old roots and those old stories that you were told about yourself that you believed by giants. And what I mean by giants is adults when you were little that weren't true. Absolutely not true. This is you owning yourself. This year is about owning what it is you believe, what you love, who you love, how you love them, and without an explanation. And cutting off those old roots or those old connections that no longer serve you to your best and highest. Andrea, nice to have you, my dear. Okay. I'm channeling Tony Orlando and Dawn right now. It's, that song, Tie a Yellow Ribbon Around the Old Oak Tree. It's been 3 long years. Do you still love me? this is somebody coming through. So this year, for you, it's about repairing the veil. It's about forgiveness. Forgiving and letting go of others that have wronged you, any narcissists, any of that energy, but also knowing that you're forgiven, that, oh my gosh, this has been one of the glass ceilings for you that will change this year tremendously, that's going to open up for you, is this ability to forgive and to be forgiven. Any perceived wrong that you have done to others, or that you weren't there when someone passed, or that you should have been there, or you should have said you shouldn't have said what you said to that person because that was the last thing that you said to them. It's that kind of a thing. It doesn't matter. This is the veil being lifted for you. This is making all of the right choices. So I'm channeling Bob Barker. Okay, so Tony Orlando and Don, and then Bob Barker isn't bad for an evening read. But this is Bob Barker. Okay? And Bob he's saying, Andrea, door number 1, door number 2, door number 3, curtain number 1, curtain number 2, curtain number 3. You're not going to make the wrong choice this year. Okay? Nor did you make the wrong choices in the past. They were the best choices that you could have possibly made. This year, understand what happened in the past. I'm talking to everybody on the show. This is clearing energy for all of you that feel like you've made the wrong decision. You said the wrong thing at the right time, the right thing at the wrong time. Letting go of all of that. This is opening up a tremendous amount of energy. It's uncapping like a volcano of energy, just to be able to create and do and be and expand consciousness like never before. Woo! Good card. Thanks, Andrea. All right. Then we have...
after Andrea is Sonia.
Hey, Sonia.
Yeah.
Nice to have you again.
John just came up too.
Hey, John. Okay. All right, Sonia, my dear. New beginnings. This next coming year, pay attention to the moon cycles. Sonia, look up what moon cycles mean, or what moon cycle you're in right now, and why that's important for you. These are some of your abilities that are waking up. And this is letting go of some of the judgment on some of those abilities, or questioning your abilities, or dumbing down your abilities, or being with people that dumb you down. This is letting go of all that. This is opening up new beginnings for you. But with any new beginning, you don't have to know everything. When I went to China, I just knew that the plane was taking me to China. I didn't really know where I was going to live. I didn't know the language. I didn't know about the food. I just went. So a lot of this is going to feel new. Go with it anyway. Go with it anyway. This is the new beginning. It's going to work out beautifully for you. and it will allow you to get away from the people and the situations that have capped your gifts. Your gifts are going to be opening up way more this year. Okay. And then we have
Awesome. So this is a new person, Annie Lata.
Annie. Nice to have you. Welcome to the show. Patty, I'm so glad you joined us. All right, so Annie, and by the way, for all of you new on the show, what I do is I shuffle the cards like this, and then when the card falls out, your guides, your higher self, however you want to call it, is the one that pulled the card for you. Okay, Annie. This year is about you stepping into your power, asking and then demanding for what it is you want, and then actually getting it. And anywhere where you've been beat down or put down, that men should have the upper hand, or men should know the right answer, or that this is you coming more back into your power. Anywhere where you've given power away to any man, that will be coming back to you. This is you being with you and being good with who you are. Again, there's nobody else like you on the planet. There never will be anybody else like you on the planet, Annie. And this is Doris Day coming through. Annie, get your gun. This is the right use of power. It's like, and I've said this before in the show, this is like John Wayne toilet paper. John Wayne toilet paper does not take the crap off of anybody. And you don't need to apologize. Again, what I was saying earlier about apologizing for who you are, what you like, or why you are the way you are. No explanation needed. This is you coming into your power this year like never before, and sealing business deals, like going for it. Okay, my dear Patty. Oh my gosh, Patty and I used to work together 20, 25 years ago. Long time. So glad to have you on the show, Patty. Hollow bone. Teachability. You're definitely moving into teaching, Patty. But the hollow bone, I got chills. I'm sorry I'm getting chills, Patty. But the Native Americans used bone, hollow bone, for flutes and to call spirit. And the horns of Jericho, when the horns of Jericho blew, the walls fell down. It's that power of spirit. And I don't know if Barrett played horn. But he's summoning the true. He's summoning your family. He's summoning your guides, your angels, however you want to term it, Patty. It's been many, many years since we've talked about this. But you've got the help around you that you need right now through some kind of transitory period, transitioning. And just, he wants to blow your horn. You know, when you've heard the term blowing your own horn, that's about you kind of bragging on yourself. Yeah, brag on yourself. But you've got to understand how great you've done. This is like Barrett coming through going, oh my God, you have just pushed through, come through, followed through, and how much love there is for you, not only on this side, but on the other side, from people that you've lost, from family. Anyway, someday I'd love to talk to you if you ever want to give me a call. But this is you teaching more, being more in a position to teach. So there's teaching more for people and how they're doing things, but it's spirit coming through you. Like you are the flute, you are the means for spirit. Okay. I love it.
So next is a new person. They're called Kaylee.
Is it Shaylee or is Kaylee?
Yeah.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, a couple new people too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So we'll call you Shaylee. Thank you. Welcome to the show. This next year for you will be about letting go. Letting go of how you think things should be, or thought things should be, or thought how things would turn up. And be okay with how they are. When you're okay with how they are, then things start to chunk up beyond your expectation. If you have an expectation, it's like a glass ceiling. So it may not even come up to the expectation. It may even fall far below the expectation. But when you let go of expectations of how things should be, or how they could have turned out, or how they should have turned out, when you let go of that, then it takes off that, I'm going to use the term glass ceiling again. It takes off that, it opens you up to expand even beyond any expectations. This is the flying card. This is the surrender card. Letting go of people, of situations, of relationships that really you've done your best. You have tried your best to make them work. This is you expanding beyond that. And that the universe has something more and better for you, especially this coming year. Yeah, because you got the 48 card. The 48 is about the 12. Okay? Good.
Nice. And it's Shaylee. Just say
Shaylee?
Shaylee.
Shaylee, thank you so much. And look up the spirit meaning of the spirit meaning or spirit animal dragonfly. Dragonfly is definitely one of your guardians, guides.
Ashley watches that.
Ashley, hey my dear, happy New Year. I love that you're all here on the show. It's fantastic. This is the 9, it's the 36 card actually, it's the 9 card. So this is the ending of old ways of doing things and new opportunities coming to you. Anywhere where you are feeling lost, this year is about, okay, you're doing something good for the earth. You're doing something positive for the earth. Anytime that you are doing something good, you can't help but watch the movie Star Wars or Wizard of Oz. Well, let's just take Dorothy, right? She's doing something good. She's helping the Scarecrow. She's helping the Tin Man. She's helping the Lion. She helps the Wizard. But you're always going to have some kind of wicked witch. You're always going to have something try to thwart you. Where does your energy go? Moving toward Oz, or giving your energy to the wicked witch? Giving your energy to the negative thoughts? No, this is you bringing your energy back, creating what it is you want. You have come from a very powerful line of ancestors. These are your ancestors coming through to you going, bring it back, get on it, stay on it. You've got this. You have got this. And anywhere where anyone has tried to take this energy or your ruby slippers, you know where to kick them. Okay.
Great. So next you've got Preston and
Hey, Preston. Nice to have you, man. Thanks for joining us. I was actually looking at your Facebook today. Kids are so amazing. Okay, Preston, this year is doing something completely different. This is moving out of stagnation. You felt stagnant. You felt kind of stuck. This is you coming into your power. Authorize it. Authorize your power. And letting go of the fear. This is absolutely letting go of the fear that's coming up. When there's chaos, this is a sign, and I wrote this down at the beginning of the show. This whole reading tonight was about great teachers awakening. That's the theme of the show. That's the whole idea behind the Egyptian god Thoth, who is actually the ruler of Atlantis in some history books. But this is you being able to create positive situations this year out of very challenging situations. But this is the dream alley of the dust devil. So it's moving out of stagnation, but trusting the process. So when things feel like they're falling apart, they're actually restructuring. They have to fall apart. So it's going to feel like time's falling apart, maybe mentally, emotionally, financially, whatever. It's restructuring. It's absolutely restructuring for you. So this year is going to be messy, awkward, sometimes conflicted, exuberant, and wild. But Preston, that's the way you like it. Change is not bibbity bobbity boo, and all of a sudden you have this amazing Cinderella dress. It's awkward sometimes. It is messy, but it's change, and it's needed, and that's what's coming and happening this year. But it's change for the better, change for the good. Okay? All right.
yeah, Laurel next.
Laurel, oh my God. Texas checking in. All right, my dear Laurel, Happy New Year. What's coming up for you this year? Laurel, you definitely are the cat's meow. More music. Look at this card. Could this be more? For all of you, Laurel's been on this show for 2 years solid. Every show, day in and day out. She's an incredible musician. She has her own band in Texas. This is what's the Academy Awards of Country Music? What is that called?
CMA.
The CMA Country Music Awards. There's something with you or a tie-in there with you and your performances. Somebody influential coming in this year, but this is your music really taking off. This is you charging more. And stretching yourself. Even performing in other countries. There's opportunities. This is called inspiration. Are you really understanding, Laurel, how inspirational your music is? It's not about how you look. It's not about your voice. It's not about the band. They're all good. It's the energy that you're putting behind it. It's transformatory energy. And that's what people are going to be feeling. Allow it to come to you. Just allow it in. Because you've got what it takes. You have everything. Allow this opportunity, allow this inspiration to come in for you. There's more inspiration coming in. I'll call you on this one. Or call me. Okay. And then we have
John Klettlinger.
Hey, John. Happy New Year.
She says she had an audition this weekend for a new gig. Laurel does.
And you had an audition, or you have an audition this weekend for a new gig. So that's what I'm talking about, is they will feel your energy. They won't be able to describe it. They're going to attribute it to music, your looks, the band. I don't know. They'll attribute it to something that they can't put their finger on, but they have to put their finger on it because they'll try to describe it. But it's this energy. It's this soulful. It's this transformatory that transforms people. They may not consciously know that it's going on, but it is. Okay, and then we've got John. So, John, this is you opening up. This is possibility for union. It's like the stairway to heaven. This is you having more metaphysical experiences. It's safe. So before you go to bed at night, do a few of these. It's safe for me to sleep. I sleep restfully. I sleep good. I sleep wonderfully. I wake up feeling like I've slept 10 hours. I sleep good. I sleep good. Because as a young person, I've actually never talked to you about this before. But as a young person, you did have very high-level spiritual experiences. And you remember that? Do you remember why you don't drink hot liquid? So John and I have been friends for many, many years, everyone. And John doesn't drink hot liquids because when he was younger, he got burned really bad by hot liquid. And so it kind of set up a precedent when you're younger. Sometimes whatever happens when you're younger, you just kind of carry through as an adult. This is you opening up and being safe and sleeping soundly. You haven't been sleeping at night because you've been staying awake so you don't have to travel. You don't have to go to this stairway to heaven. It's okay and it's safe for you to do some of this astral travel, this spiritual travel, and go to gather information. So think of it as watching YouTube for 8 hours every night in the spirit realm. Okay. So that's where that experience is coming for you. Okay, that's going to open up. And who's next?
It's just a couple of new people on YouTube. first is Raquel Santiago.
Raquel Santiago, thank you so much for being here. Happy New Year.
Yeah, they said they don't know how they came across the channel, but they're resonating.
Good. All right, Raquel. Horseman, herald of change. This is you leaving behind old ways of doing things, old partners, old. So think of it as a group of horsemen riding together, and then the woman takes off with her horse and she's alone. This is you losing all of the preconceptions, societal, family. Oh, it's not good for you to be alone. You should be alone. But this is you meeting up with a new group of people, a new group of horsewomen, horsemen. I'm using this as a metaphor. But right now you're in between groups. This is the herald of change. It's the change you've wanted this year, even though you didn't consciously know you wanted it. This is your super self coming in, your higher self, bringing this change about. Go with it. Just go with it. It can be as uncomfortable as, I don't know, like moving from frilly dresses to spandex. It's that type of it's a very big change, and it can be very uncomfortable for you, but it's absolutely needed, and it's going to be for your best and highest. It's about you moving forward and being free of expecting other people that were your old friends, family in the past to join you. No, this is moving into something brand new.
Awesome. Another new
Okay.
person, Audrey Thomas is last.
Audrey Thomas, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here. Audrey or Aubrey? Audrey?
Audrey.
Okay, Audrey, thank you. This year is a very big awakening year for you, Audrey. It's where people will say things to you that can be very unkind or even mean or thoughtless. And you're going to be waking up to the fact that, oh, wait a minute, that's not about me. I understand that they're talking about themselves. This is you resonating with you more and understanding that there's nothing wrong with you. This is the whale song. That your voice has a reason, it has a purpose. What you have to say is important, but you don't throw your pearls before swine, which means you don't there's nothing wrong with swine. They just don't understand pearls. This is you opening up and knowing when that person will really appreciate your pearl of wisdom. Know that you have pearls of wisdom. But it's been so, it's like your closet has been so full of junk from other people, and your pearls are way back in the corner. This year is about you getting back in touch with your pearls without all of the junk and opinions of other people, family, friends, all of that. This is you resonating, coming into a higher resonance, a higher way of being, and a higher way of thinking. Great year for you. Awesome.
Everybody.
All right. Happy New Year. We're going to do a show again on Wednesday night, 6 o'clock Arizona time. Give me some feedback. I love to hear that, whether you can post me a message on Facebook or my website. Love to hear from you. Great, great blessings, and we'll see you on Wednesday night. Happy New Year.